Hi, and welcome to Wrong Way. And today we will discuss different riding modes on your electric motor wheel. So, let me tell you more about it. Wrong Way. Alright, but before we get into the modes themselves, I would also advise you to calibrate your wheel. If you never did that, you will do this via the app. And in most electric wheels, this process is very similar. Basically, you press calibrate on the app, and then you can tilt the wheel a bit forwards, backwards, or just stay flat. And then you can press the button on the wheel itself to let it stay in the position you set it to. Now I will also calibrate the wheel wrongly. Like you see now, it's a bit tilted to the side and to the front. And the easiest way to tell that the wheel is somehow miscalibrated is that when you turn with the wheel, like here, the pedals go up or down. Same thing when you start riding. When you turn in one direction and your toes go up, and in the opposite one they dip down, then it's wrongly calibrated. Since I usually ride with power pads or jump pads, I tilt my wheel just a bit to the front so my toes are lower than my heels to accelerate a little easier. And yeah, this is just a setting I recently rocked the most. I highly encourage you to try different settings to see what fits you the best. Now that we are all set, let's talk about the modes. And here you can see me riding in the hard mode. Basically, the unicycle balances you by accelerating or decelerating where there is the weight. So here you can see that my tilting or my weight in the front or the back of the unicycle is right away transformed into acceleration. And going up this hill, the pedals stay flat, the whole body of the unicycle stays flat. It essentially transforms your leverage on the wheel, your weight in front or in the back, into direct acceleration. So yeah, this is hard mode. If you turn it into medium mode, you can see that the shell of the wheel along with the foot plates tilt a bit when applying a lot of acceleration. It's sort of like a bit of give or buffer when you are shifting your weight in front or in the back of the EUC. Now going uphill, you can also see that this process is happening along with also braking. The soft mode is the mellowest mode of these three, and you can see that when accelerating, when applying force to the EUC, first it tilts a bit and then it starts going. And as you can see here, I tried to just back up a bit more, but it wasn't just happening. The EUC tilted instead of accelerating. Here you can see the same story when going uphill. It tilts first before it actually goes somewhere, and when going back and forth you can see the same process happening. Now that we've covered the basics of modes in electric unicycles, let's have a ride in each and one of them to talk about their strengths and weaknesses. First, let's ride in the soft mode. And the soft mode is a mode I use very rarely on electric unicycles. My beef with it is that if you want to accelerate or decelerate with it a bit more suddenly, then there's a lot of like give or a buffer zone when the electric unicycle tilts and afterwards it starts accelerating. That doesn't mean that it doesn't come with any benefits, because it's very cool for carving. It's cool when there's like a lot of cobblestone or a very bad road surface, as the EUC just tends to keep its own speed and it's not that dependent on your body, like leaning forward, leaning backwards. But for everyday use, I would not go for soft mode. Here you can see me applying a lot of force onto the EUC by pressing my weight onto the power pads, which in hard mode would result in instant acceleration, and here it's just tilting the EUC, which might be a lifesaver when you jump into a pothole. Soft mode is definitely for like longer cruises, chill rides, and if you are not a high performance rider, it might be worth giving a shot to soft mode. Now let's talk about the medium mode, and to be totally honest with you guys, it's a pretty recent discovery to me, as before I was an avid user of just hard mode. So the medium mode has a bit of like give to the acceleration on a UC, but it's not too much as it is, for example, on the soft mode. Actually, it helps you a bit to accelerate, as when you lean and the UC is tilting forwards a bit, then your body is automatically sort of leaning forwards. And as long as you apply pressure to the power pads, or you're standing basically on your toes, the acceleration process will be just a bit easier than on hard mode. Be aware though that if you try to overlean or accelerate really hard, you might overpower the wheel easier on both soft mode and medium mode than on hard mode. Alright, now let's talk about the hard mode. And as you can see here, when applying force onto the power pads, it just transforms it into acceleration or deceleration when you brake. In this mode, you can get the most performance out of your UC. It just transforms weight, leaning, putting pressure onto the power pads into acceleration and movement. Sometimes also, if I go off-road, it's even a bit too much for me, and it can be also tiring on your feet. So if you have a lot of like stress on your feet, or you get tired easily, it might be worth switching from hard mode into medium mode. Hard mode is the most sensitive mode, and when used in conjunction with power pads, you can get really a lot out of the wheel. The pedals might also dip in the opposite direction when you accelerate. So when you accelerate on a GotWay MSP, especially on a speed version, the pedals might actually go up when you lean forwards. The exact opposite of medium mode. But this mode is very precise, can be a bit tiring, but if you want to just have the highest of the performance, if you want to climb ultra steep hills, if you want to accelerate, race against others, then hard mode is the way to go. So in the end, for my personal use case, I switch very often between medium mode and the hard one. Mostly I'm in medium mode. Also in this clip, I'm on medium mode, as when you bounce up and down on a off-road trail, and when you hit the power pads accidentally, maybe even just a bit too hard, then it doesn't translate instantly into insane acceleration. If I, however, want to climb super steep hills, if I'm on a very good road surface and I feel like, you know, I need more speed, then I will get into hard mode. So this is my overview on the modes on electric unicycles. If you have any questions, please put them below in the comment section, and now I'll just leave you with a bit of riding footage with the modes highlighted in the corner for you to know what I'm riding in. So if you're still here, leave a like on the video, subscribe to see more content like this. I'll see you in the next video. See you soon.